Hey guys, want to start today's video by saying Merry Christmas to all of you out there who are watching. We have arrived at the Great Awakening. Christmas Eve, early hours of the AM coming in today, you guys. We had our big climactic energetic activation of this entire year going on, carrying through the energetics today for Christmas Eve, carrying through our Christmas Day energetics for this weekend, while we actually have the North Node, our collective destiny at this point in time, talking about Santa Claus furtively filling stockings hanging by the Christmas fireplace. So lots of themes of gifts and blessings coming today, although we are in some of the most intense energetics that we have experienced this entire year, if not for quite a while. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is December 24th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. I am, of course, going to be talking about this big climactic energetic day that we have going on today, and also just give you guys a little bit of information about what is coming through the rest of the weekend as well. Normally on my Friday reports, I also include energetics for Saturday and Sunday, but today, this time around, because we just have such a big deal energetic going on Friday, that really is the main news, the name of the game energetically this weekend as well. So all wrapped up in a nice little Christmas Eve package. Let's talk about it, you guys. Let's talk about the specifics of this big Saturn-Uranus square that we have going on in the sky. I've been talking about this for a while, all this past week in my videos. If you guys have been following my work, or if you just pay attention to astrology generally, you know that this is going on. This has been a theme energetically all year. This is the third exact activation of a square between Saturn and Uranus in the sky that we have been dealing with this year. And this really is the foundational breakthrough energetic that is really helping us to shatter our previously existing structures, mainly in terms of our mind and our mental space and our cognition, that have been keeping us in a state of being unable to come into the truth of our authentic value and use that as a source to power our creation going forward. That is what this is all about. This is the Great Awakening energy coming through today. And it's not just these two planets coming to an exact to the minute square for the third time. The other energetic aspects that are going on alongside of this are really, really significant as well. And like I said, all the energy today is really wrapped up in this nice little bow that is really driving for this major collective spiritual awakening and breakthrough. So let's talk about the energetics. I also want to tell you guys, I had a recommendation from a subscriber that I start using timestamps in my video to break down the video into sections to make it more easy to navigate in case you need to stop watching or come back, or you're only interested in a certain part or whatever. And I found that to be a very good piece of advice. So I'm going to start doing that as much as I can whenever I have the time. If you want to look in the description box of my video, I'm going to try to start breaking the video down into timestamps so you can jump to whatever portion of the video you're most interested in if you don't want to watch the whole 30 minutes. So I wanted to say that as well, but let's talk about the energies. First of all, just the overall themes that we have going on today. Then I'm going to talk about the Sabian symbols that are in effect for this event, this galactic cosmic event today, and they are telling a very specific story. Then I'm going to talk about the specific aspects that are happening alongside of this exact to the minute square today. And then, like I said, there's a couple things that I want to talk about for this weekend as well. So that's the game plan. Let's get started. Overall themes: Saturn in square to Uranus, Taurus to Scorpio. We have arrived, you guys. Our third and final square between Saturn and Uranus, as I've said, is upon us. We have arrived at the energetic climax of the year. Things that were happening, y'all, around February 17th of this past year or June 14th of this past year might come back up now. Something to do with things happening or tensions that were in play at those periods of time may become very relevant in what transpires now. And that is because those were the first two squares. Those were the dates of the first exact to the minute squares between Saturn and Uranus, and now we are at the third. So we are in like chapter 3 of this grand play this year. And so things that happened in chapter 1 and chapter 2 may be coming up for rectification, with Uranus, the great rectifier, being involved at this point in time. Very interesting, because if you think about it, Saturn and Uranus, the two planets in this square that have been like the pinnacle energy of this year causing this transition, both of them are actually the rulers of Aquarius. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius, the traditional ruler of Aquarius. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And so it's like both of the two rulers of Aquarius are pushing us. Squares create tension, they create pressure, but it's for the point of breaking through into something. They create a conflict in order so that there can be a resolution, a revolution, and an evolution. That's really their purpose energetically and astrologically. And with these two planets, both rulers of Aquarius, Saturn being in the sign of Aquarius right now as well, forming this square at this point in time as we transition into this energies, this is one of the reasons why this has been one of the major breakthrough energies that has been helping us into this energetic paradigm shift into the age of Aquarius. But what this is really doing is providing an energetic breakthrough potential window opportunity from the restrictive forms and structures of our past with this vibrational shift that is going on in the collective consciousness. Aquarius rules the collective consciousness, aligning us with the authenticity, truth, and creative inspiration that is inside of us so that we can truly begin to become the generators of our own experiences in this reality and co-create with God and universe going forward, as that is the trajectory, that is the plan, and that is more and more how reality will begin to operate as we go through this paradigm shift right now. This aspect has been helping us to discover where we have been limiting ourselves based on our own where we have been limiting ourselves and our own progress based on our own mental constraints that we have created unknowingly based on these faulty subconscious programming, like algorithms that have been operating underneath behind the scenes of our conscious mind, really, creating us or like causing a situation where we create experiences that are really more so in alignment with our fears than what we truly consciously desire in this life. And that is really what this whole experience is trying to help us break through. If you think about it, Aquarius is an air sign. Air signs correlate to the mind, our thoughts, how we use our mental energy. The age of Aquarius, this is the age of information. Information is going to be like the new currency going forward. There is going to be such a greater value placed on information, our mind, our thoughts, and the power that our thoughts have to truly create our experiences and our physical reality as we move into this paradigm that is ruled by the air frequencies and the air vibrations. And everything that has been going on this year, and with Saturn and Aquarius, it has been putting pressure on us mentally in a lot of ways so that we are actually forced to come to a realization about how things are not in alignment with our own truth and our ability to be free to experience and express that. This aspect is trying to bring us the truth of who and what we truly are so we can liberate ourselves from the prisons that we've created from our own mind, like I was saying, based in fear and the power of our thoughts, so that we can turn these prisons based on these experiences that we create and attract into our lives based on this subconscious programming that we picked up and developed over the course of our lives, largely usually based on trauma and fear, and trying to alleviate ourselves from that experience but not being consciously aware of it. And the effect that that actually has is that it tends to draw more of these experiences to us because that's what we're really resonating with. And with Saturn in this air sign right now and Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, also in the square, I really see this as trying to free us from our own minds, essentially, and the negative impact that us not using our minds properly has had on the experiences in our life that have potentially made us feel trapped in some way when it comes to really being in alignment with who we really are in our creative potential and what we were actually here to do, and genuinely activating our destiny. And in the age of Aquarius, that's what it's all about, is operating in self-mastery and at the highest octave of our potential and really becoming the best that we can be, and then serving that to the greater good in humanity. And then as a result of the law of attraction in this paradigm, it being reflected back to us and us being able to experience the value and the abundance and the fulfillment of what we've created for ourselves through our service and providing that to others. That's the trajectory, that's the path, and that is why we are going through this process now. But we can't get there when we are still like caught up in subconscious programming that is inhibiting our ability to use our thoughts properly. And I really feel like that is a lot what this square is about. This is a mental shift aligning us with the truth of our authentic value, our personal creative potential, and the power that represents for us to be the generators of our own success, fulfillment, and in correlation with the creative laws of this reality going forward. Throughout this past 2,000 years in the age of Pisces and the energy that we're coming out of now, there has been a major disconnect between the true power of our creative intention, imaginative thought, and how our mind, what we're holding in our mind, and the tangible outcomes that we experience in this physical reality. We have, in a lot of cases, lost sight of the connection and the link between those two things. And that is one of the things that we are going to be gaining a tremendously increased understanding of and ability to utilize and incorporate into our lives going forward through this paradigm, which will truly bring us to this place of genuinely being able to co-create in alignment with God and universe. But again, this can't happen until we have slayed our own demons and recalibrated our own system and reprogrammed our own code in order to be able to operate in these frequencies. And that is what is going on right now. And that is why there is so much tension and so much pressure pushing us to this point to break through this energy and to come into these internal realizations that create this energetic shift that then extrapolates outward and outward and really changes the way that we are interacting with reality. One by one, this collectively transitions us into the age of Aquarius. We create it through our own internal conscious awakening and vibrational shift. And that is what this energy is pushing for. And it's happening on Christmas Eve, you guys. Like, it's really a gift from God, from Santa Claus, from the heavens, from the universe. It's really divine timing at play. And it may be one of those things that is a blessing in disguise. And as I get into the Sabian symbols and begin talking about the symbolism and the story that's being told, we will see that this is not going to be an instant gratification type of thing, but we don't want it to be, because anything that is instant is not sturdy and is not, really grounded and strong and enduring and able to last and withstand the test of time. And that is what we're doing. We are building something that will really truly last the next 2,000 years. So it can't happen instantly. It has to be this slow and gradual process. And it's each one of us doing this for ourselves. And we are just kicking it off big and something serious today, you guys. So let's break this down a little more specifically and just talk about the planets and the aspect itself before I jump into the Sabians. So Saturn in Aquarius, like I said, this is the Great Awakening. Putting pressure though, okay, this energy is kind of operating in a polarity. It's like a double-edged sword. Like, it's doing one thing, but the outcome is actually something else. And that's not really surprising to us, because right now we do have our North Node in Gemini speaking about the dual nature of things moving us forward into the future. But on one hand, Saturn in Aquarius, this is putting pressure on the people. Rules, regulations, restrictions, limitations. We have seen all of this in play, but this same energy is also maturing and focusing mental energy, being in Aquarius, the air sign. It's breaking us free from this mental conditioning and mind control and thought prisons of the past. Saturn rules, forms, and structures, limitations, restrictions, slowly moving progress. And Aquarius is the sign of humanity and the collective consciousness. And while on one hand, this energy is definitely putting a clamp down on the human spirit and the human condition, that same effort is simultaneously breaking us free mentally from these structures that have been trying to hold us down. This dual nature. It's like the more you push, the more resistance is created on the other side in terms of this awakening happening. So, and we've seen this. We've seen how this is operating. Also with Saturn in Aquarius, this is the new foundations we are laying now in alignment with that sense of being liberated to align with authentic truth and being enduring and long lasting and sustainable and something that can carry us, a long ways into the future. Saturn, the layer of foundations in the sign of Aquarius, talking about foundations based in truth, authenticity, and the liberty to really align with, express, and experience those things. Now let's talk for a second about Uranus and Taurus. Uranus, this is the great awakener planet. This is the great rectifier, the silver lining planet, the galactic fixer. Uranus comes in and throws things up in the air, makes everything chaotic and crazy, but it does so that it can land in a way that is more conducive to the development and cultivation of personal potential in alignment with authenticity. Uranus fixes things that have gotten too off course in terms of the trajectory that our authenticity and our soul's growth wants to take us in. With Uranus and Taurus, this is trying to show us the authenticity and the authentic truth of what we value and what we've built, the structures that we've built in our lives to give us a sense of safety and security and material pleasure and abundance and just material possessions and resources and food and things that come from the earth generally. Uranus and Taurus really wants us to be reconsidering what we truly base our value in, and also wants us to redefine the relationship to our own internal value, our own self-worth, our own self-love. Worth, value, and love across the board needing to be rectified in some type of a way because we have gotten out of alignment with the truth of what we really genuinely need when it comes to these aspects of our lives in order to do this paradigm shift and slay those demons, crack our own codes, liberate our mind, and come into this point where we can really begin to actively co-create and manifest. So, that's those two planets. And then when we talk about Uranus and Saturn and square, this is liberation and a breakthrough from anything that is limiting, restricting, or controlling our ability to align with that authentic truth. And with Uranus and Taurus, it's the authentic truth of the value, the worth, and the love, and what we truly value, what we truly find worth in, and what we truly love. And with Saturn in Aquarius, this is also in alignment with that authenticity and liberating us to be able to align with those things. So super Aquarian themed breakthroughs going on right now as we head into the age of Aquarius, and right on time for Christmas Eve. This is our galactic Christmas gift, apparently. Also, one more thing I want to say about these two planets that I find to be interesting. Uranus rules the future. Uranus, that's one of the themes that Uranus rules. Uranus rules the future and the things associated with the future. Saturn rules the past, karma, time, things associated with things that have been in order or that have been standing for long periods of time, taking us back to the past. These two planets in a square, both ruling Aquarius, breaking through the old established order to align with the path of the future, a changing of the guard, like the Sabian symbols that were in effect for our solstice that we had just a couple days ago, clearing karma, breaking karmic cycles, another major theme of this activation point today, because you can't have a great awakening if you are not also simultaneously clearing karma and breaking karmic ties with the things that have bound us to those states that have been not serving us in the past that we are liberating ourselves from now. Yeah, breaking free from karmic cycles to align with a conscious and vibrational evolution, which is the age of Aquarius. Now, let's talk about the Sabian symbols that are in effect for today. Again, these are telling a really significant story. We have, and for those of you who are unaware of what the Sabian symbols are at this point in time, they are a group of symbols that describe each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever there's a planet at a specific point or degree making an aspect, we can look to the degree and read the Sabian symbol, and it really just gives us more information, another layer of clarity about what that aspect is actually doing in the context of this grand unfolding astrological story that is constantly taking us through time and space. And at this point in time, right towards the age of Aquarius with a one-way ticket, But yeah, so that's what the Sabian symbols are. And I just wanted to let anyone who is unfamiliar with them at this point in time know before I start talking about them, because I'm about to start talking about them for a few minutes, because again, they just give us more information. They really tell a story about what is going on with these aspects from the cosmic perspective. So the sun today at 3 degrees of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is the human soul and its eagerness for new experience seeks embodiment. And there's also another way that the Sabian is written. And I wanted to give that one too, because they're both, kind of saying a lot. This one, the other one is the human soul receptive to growth and order. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I can't read my notes. The human soul receptive to growth and order standing. Sorry, I wrote it wrong. That's not what it is. I apologize for that. Delete that. I'm sorry for saying that. I don't have my computer here, so I can't look it up right now. But anyways, the human soul in its eagerness for new experiences seeks embodiment, and it's understanding. Sorry, the human soul. The other one is the human soul receptive to growth and understanding. Sorry, I totally just botched that part, which was kind of a big thing for this report because those Sabians are significant. But anyways, it's all about the human soul and spirit waking up and setting itself free. That's the degree that the sun is discharging today as we are having this major activation. The position of the earth today, an ancient explorer leads reindeer through icy canyons. That is talking all about mastering a very difficult and dangerous, perilous, challenging expedition, but gaining a soul evolution, the position of the sun as a result. A hard and dangerous journey that we are embarking on right now, but the outcome is going to be definitely a breakthrough into another level of existence, essentially. We have Mercury today, you guys, 17 degrees of Capricorn, a girl surreptitiously bathing in the nude, no longer afraid to show our truth. We are willing to expose ourselves, and it's cleansing and it's liberating and it's purifying us on a mental level. Very interesting in the context of what this energy is trying to do for us. We have Venus, you guys, today moving while Uranus and Saturn are in the exact to the minute square. Venus is moving to 26 degrees, retrograding back to form again the exact conjunction with Pluto. That Sabian symbol is a nature spirit dancing in the midst of a waterfall. This is again, just like the Mercury symbol, cleansing, purifying, liberating, self-empowerment, where Venus and Pluto are today, which is another huge aspect of the energetics that are playing out today, which I will talk about in a minute when I get to the aspects, but that is another big one that is telling us a lot. We have Mars today at 8 degrees of Sagittarius. Deep within the earth, new elements are being formed. All of this is happening as a result of a deep internal transformation and the birth of a new vibration that is going on inside of us. We have Jupiter today, ruler of the energy right now, because we are still in the Sagittarius cycle ruled by Jupiter. Moonlit fields, once Babylon, are blooming white. Everything that's going on right now is happening to return the peace to where there was once chaos and strife, okay? The natural balance is coming back. We have Saturn for this exact square today. People on a vast staircase graduated upwards. All this happening, you guys, as we elevate our frequency and graduate upwards from this energetic paradigm to the next, the spiral of evolution underway with these energetics going on today. We have Uranus at 12 degrees of Taurus, a young couple window shopping. We are actively getting to choose and pick out the new features of what our reality will look like with our own mastery over our own thoughts and literally co-creating and manifesting with the universe. That is what Uranus is telling us at this degree. And you guys, we have the Sabian symbol of the North Node. Let's not forget today, Santa Claus furtively filling Christmas stockings, hanging by the fireplace. All of this energy is ultimately going to lead to blessings and fulfillment. The last Sabian symbol I want to mention today is the Sabian symbol of the position of the moon in exact opposition to Jupiter today. You guys, an unsealed letter has vital and confidential information. On an emotional level today, we are coming into some type of emotional epiphany, an emotional awareness, an emotional shift that is helping to balance out our mind and our heart in terms of this grand vibrational change that is happening now. We are getting on board emotionally and energetically and mentally with it all today. So very profound Sabian symbols in effect. Now let's talk about the aspects, because those are very profound as well. Of course, we have Saturn in square to Uranus today. This is happening at exactly 11 degrees and 6 minutes of Aquarius and Taurus. Now, when I read the Sabian symbols, we always round up. That's why I said, sorry. I'm like, my mind is like all over the place today, and I have to blame it on all of the aspects that are going on. I'm sorry this is like disjointed. I was hoping that it would be really smooth and wonderful, but it's just not turning out that way. So please bear with me, and thank you for sticking with me this far if you have. But anyways, they're at 12. When we look at the Sabian symbols, we always round up. So I'm reading 12 degrees for the Sabians as I just did, but the actual exact degree is 11 degrees and 6 minutes of Taurus and Aquarius, which I also find funny numerologically, because 11, this breaks down into a 2, 6 degrees, that's 222, again with this 222 symbolism showing up for the exact degree placement of this square. But anyways, this is an evolution and a redesign with the Sabian symbols that are in effect at this degree. And we could see huge upheavals, economic upheavals, resources, supply chains, material comforts, relationships, partnerships. We could see greater attempts to restrict and lock down personal freedom. But in the same sense, that is also going to be having the backlash of waking people up. Any attempt to force or suppress right now is perpetuating the Great Awakening energy. So we could see all of those things. I've been talking about this for a while. Financial and economic shocks, surprises, and all of the Taurian themes. Like I said, resources, supply chains, food, things coming from the earth, finances, markets, what gives us comfort, what gives us security, partnerships, relationships, finances. Again, in authority situations as well, with it being Saturn, governments, establishments, leaders, stuff like that. So that's really what we're dealing with in terms of this Saturn-Uranus square. But again, at these degrees, it is pushing for an energetic upgrade on a stair, graduated upwards, and window shopping, really elevating, evolving, and choosing, picking out, and deciding and actively co-creating the features of our new reality going forward. Venus and Pluto conjunct 26 degrees of Capricorn. This is huge to be happening in exact correspondence with this exact activation. Breaking toxic habits in specifically relationships, finances, addictions of any kind, power and control dynamics, really breaking down when they are toxic, abusive, or out of balance. Breaking free and breaking ourselves free from what we don't desire any longer and what doesn't make us feel good, what we are no longer willing to accept. And also, very strongly, an internal maturation in terms of what we truly love, what we truly value and desire, and are willing to allow into our lives anymore. Redefining our relationship to ourself and where we give our power away. This is another very strong feature of the energy that we are going to be experiencing through the rest of the year, and that is very prominent today. Any type of abuse of power that has been going on across the board is not going to stand anymore. People are recognizing the truth of the value and the love that they hold inside of them, the power that represents, to not need to give power away to an external source any longer. And that is coming to an end with this. Another big, huge aspect of this chart today, you guys, is we have the moon amazingly lining up exactly in opposition to Jupiter, ruler of our Sag cycle that we are in right now, as this energy is exact. That is huge. The moon in Leo opposing Jupiter in Aquarius for this moment, peace through clarity and understanding, hugely expanded heart energy, the mind and the heart reflecting on each other in alignment with these changes that are being pushed to have happen right now. And it goes up even another level, because with them being at 30 degrees of Aquarius and Leo, they're also forming a T-square with the nodes in the very, very end of Gemini or the very, very beginning of Gemini and Sagittarius. And this is all about the past and the future, destiny and karma, heart-based changes. The truth will set you free with this energy. That really is what this is all boiling down to. This breakthrough directly related to breaking karmic ties and expanding the potential for the future based out of love and creative inspiration, ingenuity, and authentic truth. Our thoughts reflecting the truth of our heart. And that is the fuel, that is the source, this alignment, this heart-based authentic alignment that is inspiring and fueling and motivating, and this expanded energy that is promoting it in the square with the nodes, the past and the future, destiny and karma, these karmic cycles that we're breaking so that we can open ourselves up to these blessings that are waiting for us once we go through this energetic and vibrational shift and head towards the age of Aquarius, where Jupiter is right now, 30 degrees of Aquarius, where all this energy is pointing to and playing out. It's really amazing. Another thing we got going on today, you guys, we have Mars, our action planet, the lord of the battlefield, in almost an exact trine to Chiron. And Chiron is in Aries, the sign ruled by Mars. The hero's journey is activated. The spiritual warrior is activated. We are stepping into our self-mastery, slaying our demons, overcoming our fears, taking back our life into our own hands, and fighting for what we value, acting on our wisdom gained through experience. And this is going to be with us all weekend, a really inspired sense of standing in our truth, really starting to demonstrate and exhibit the mastery that we've gained from overcoming our experiences, and to start living the wisdom that we've gained through these experiences and applying it externally to our lives. And I cannot understate, you guys, the fact of where the North Node is right now. Like I said, 2 degrees of Gemini in the T-square with Jupiter and the moon. Santa Claus furtively filling stockings, hanging by the fireplace on actual Christmas Eve. This is where this energy is breaking us to. Like, it could not be more clear. Like, this is literally so, like, straightforward symbolism that is coming down from the cosmos today. We are getting freedom, fulfillment, and truth birthed from chaos and strife in our stockings this year, the position of Jupiter. Fields of Babylon now blooming white. We may be in Babylon now, but the fields are soon to be blooming white as we take our treacherous trek through the icy canyons and slay our demons. But when we make it to the top of this mountain, we will truly have graduated upwardly, and we get to be the designers of our own new reality going forward. Lost opportunities will be regained in this process, and we have a brand new frontier and an empty stocking waiting to be filled, waiting to bless us with an entirely different experience and joy, fulfillment, and love in alignment with God going forward. So that's what we have today. That's what this energy is doing for us. This is going to be carrying through all weekend. Mars tomorrow, you guys, is going to form the exact trine to Chiron from Sagittarius to Aries. This energy is going to be carrying us through the weekend. Very inspired weekend to stand in our power and make some active changes happening. We have a moon that is going to be squaring Mars tomorrow. There could be some anger coming up, but honestly, all of this is pushing us to break the mental chains that have been keeping us from aligning and activating our genuine potential in a way that is truly meant to liberate our soul, to help us align with the fulfillment that is waiting for us and that has always been there as we go through this paradigm and energetic shift into the age of Aquarius. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and leave me comments. I'm wishing all of you guys the most beautiful holiday weekend. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I love you guys, and I'll see you Monday. Bye.